What would you do if you could learn the secret of success from the wisest man on the world? Would you expect a formula? A strategy? A magic principle that guarantees achievement? Thousands of people dream about success. They read books about it. They watch videos about it. They talk about it endlessly. Yet only a few ever achieve extraordinary results. Why? Because most people want success, but very few want it badly enough. Today, I want to share a powerful story about a young man who traveled to meet the great philosopher Socrates. He wanted to learn the secret of success. What Socrates taught him that day has inspired generations for over 2,000 years. And if you truly understand this lesson, it may change the way you pursue your dreams forever. Many years ago in ancient Greece, there lived a young man filled with ambition. He dreamed of achieving greatness. He wanted success. He wanted recognition. He wanted to build a meaningful life. But despite his desire, he felt stuck. No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't seem to move forward. He watched others succeed while he remained where he was. The more he thought about it, the more frustrated he became. Finally, he decided to seek advice from the wisest man in Greece, a philosopher named Socrates. People traveled from far and wide to hear Socrates speak. His wisdom was respected throughout the land. The young man believed that if anyone knew the secret of success, it would be him. So one day, he journeyed to meet the philosopher. When he arrived, he found Socrates speaking with a group of students. After waiting patiently, the young man approached him. "Master Socrates," he said respectfully, "I have come to ask you something." Socrates smiled. "What is it, young man?" The young man replied, "I want to know the secret of success." The old philosopher looked at him carefully. For a moment, he said nothing. Then he smiled and answered, "Meet me by the river tomorrow morning before sunrise, and I will show you." The young man was excited. Finally, he thought, he would discover the answer he had been searching for. That night he could hardly sleep. He imagined learning some profound secret. Perhaps Socrates would reveal a hidden principle. Perhaps he would share wisdom that would instantly transform his life. The next morning, before the sun rose, the young man hurried to the river. Socrates was already there waiting. Without saying much, the philosopher began walking into the water. "Follow me," he said. Confused but curious, the young man followed. The water reached their knees. Then their waists. Then their chests. Still, Socrates continued walking. Finally, when the water was deep enough, Socrates turned toward the young man. Suddenly, without warning, he grabbed him and pushed his head beneath the water. The young man was shocked. At first, he thought it was some kind of joke. But Socrates kept him underwater. Seconds passed. The young man struggled. He tried to pull away. But Socrates held him firmly. More seconds passed. Now panic began to set in. The young man's lungs burned. His heart raced. Every instinct inside him screamed for air. He fought desperately. He kicked. He twisted. He pushed with all his strength. Finally, just as he thought he could hold on no longer, Socrates released him. The young man exploded out of the water, gasping for breath. He inhaled deeply. Again and again. Air had never felt so precious. For several moments, neither of them spoke. The young man was angry, confused, humiliated. "What was that?" he demanded. "Are you trying to kill me?" Socrates remained calm. Instead of answering, he asked a question. "When you were underwater, what did you want more than anything else?" The young man replied immediately. "Air. Only air." Socrates nodded. "And when you wanted air, were you thinking about wealth?" "No." "Were you thinking about fame?" "No." Were you thinking about comfort? No. Were you thinking about excuses? No. What were you thinking about? The young man answered. I wanted air more than anything in the world. Socrates smiled. Then he spoke words that would echo through history. When you want success as badly as you wanted air, then you will find it. The young man stood silently. The lesson struck him with tremendous force. Suddenly, everything became clear. He had wanted success. But not enough. He had dreamed about success. But he had not pursued it with complete commitment. He had hoped for success. But he had not dedicated himself fully to achieving it. Socrates continued. Most people say they want success. But when difficulties come, they quit. When sacrifice is required, they hesitate. When obstacles appear, they make excuses. They want success the way they want comfort, not the way they want air. The young man listened carefully. Every word pierced his heart. For the first time, he understood. Success is not reserved for the lucky. It is not reserved for the talented alone. It belongs to those who pursue their goals with relentless determination. To those who refuse to quit. To those who stay committed when others give up. To those who are willing to pay the price. The river had become a classroom. And the lesson would stay with him forever. As years passed, the young man often remembered that morning by the river. Whenever he felt discouraged, he remembered how desperately he had wanted air. Whenever he felt tempted to quit, he remembered Socrates' words. Success requires more than interest. It requires commitment. There is a difference between being interested in something and being committed to it. When you're interested, you do what's convenient. When you're committed, you do whatever is necessary. Interested people wish. Committed people work. Interested people talk. Committed people act. Interested people start. Committed people finish. The world is full of people who would like to succeed. But success belongs to those who decide that their dream is too important to abandon. The secret of success is not hidden. It is not mysterious. It is not reserved for a chosen few. The secret is intensity of desire combined with relentless action. When your dream becomes stronger than your excuses, when your purpose becomes greater than your fear, when your commitment becomes stronger than your comfort, your life begins to change. Success is not about wanting something occasionally. It is about pursuing it consistently. Day after day. Month after month. Year after year. Until the impossible becomes possible. Never ask yourself, do I want success? Ask yourself, do I want it enough to keep going when things get hard? Because that answer will determine your future. Today, someone else may seem more talented than you. Someone else may have more resources than you. Someone else may have a better starting point than you. But none of those things determine your destiny. What matters is how badly you want your dream. What matters is how consistently you work toward it. What matters is whether you are willing to keep moving forward when others stop. Remember the young man standing by the river. Remember the desperation he felt for air. And remember the lesson Socrates taught him. The moment you want success as much as you wanted that next breath, the moment you refuse to let excuses, fear, or failure stop you, everything begins to change. Dream boldly. Work relentlessly. Stay committed. And never give up. Because success has a habit of finding those who refuse to stop chasing it. Your future is waiting. Go after it with everything you've got. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Growth Media for more powerful stories and life-changing lessons on success, confidence, leadership, and personal growth. Growth Media, where stories build champions. See you in the next lesson of success.